Hello, this is Sam Simon, also known as Dementia Man, and this is my blog for the week of November 16th, the big week, the release of the book, Dementia Man, An Existential Journey, the book, and it is also, by the way, Alzheimer's Awareness Month. What a great time to introduce the book about having Alzheimer's. And this is Sunday the 16th. If you get on Amazon and buy it by Monday, it's only 99 cents, the ebook. We're doing that on purpose. It's going to go back to its regular price around um, I don't know what the retail price will be then. I think it's about $9.95, but right now it's 99 cents. We're trying to get us up in the ratings and make it available broadly early on. And so I hope you go to that. And uh, if you go up to Amazon and search for Dementia Sam Simon, and you can get to it that way, or to Dementia Simon and find it that way. And I hope you do. And I hope you get the book. And I hope you then give me some feedback. In fact, we're going to be hosting over the next month a couple of uh, chats with me about the book, Q&A on the book, discussions of the book. So be on the lookout for those dates. But in the meantime, I want to talk about something else. It's the fact that it's Alzheimer's Awareness Month. It's also National Family Caregiver Month. And I spoke last week with Greg Johnson and about the challenges for family caregivers, especially in the diseases of cognitive disorders like Alzheimer's. But today, I want to talk about how to mark, I was going to say celebrate, mark Alzheimer's Awareness Month and how to become aware. And what does that mean and what can you do about it? Number one in awareness is find out your risk. Be aware of you and your family members' risk of this disease so you can begin to do things to prevent its actual appearance in you, or you can reduce your risks. So, how do you find out your risk of having Alzheimer's? There are a couple of things you can do. One is family history. Look into your family history and go way back, even to the extent that you can. You know, in our family, there were stories of people who were just funny or couldn't work or had problems. We didn't realize they were likely cognitive issues. And I, very late in life, discovered that I have a genetic risk for Alzheimer's. It's a gene, it's called APOE4. And if you have one instance of that gene, you are about 20 to 25% more likely than the average population of getting that disease. If you have two instances, so genes, you get them from either side of your family, your mother's side or your father's side. And I found out that my gene, my genetic risk and my gene has probably come through my father's side because his mother, not the last name Simon, by the way, right? His mother, who married Sidney Simon, was named Grandma Blonder. Blanking on her first name. Doesn't matter. But the Blonder family, as I've learned, has a significant amount today of Alzheimer's disease, and other members of that family also have the APOE4. It significantly increases my risk. And today, if you have two instances, that is, if it comes from both sides of your family, then you are considered to have Alzheimer's and should be treated as such. At least that was one recent study claims that. So find out, become aware, learn your own risk. If and it would be true for any cognitive concerns. If you find yourself more forgetful and confused about things, small things, if you all of a sudden can't find your keys more than normal, actually can't find your keys and you can't retrace your step. Now, Alzheimer's is an older person disease. The current data today is that there are 7.2 million Americans over the age of 65 with Alzheimer's. This is the first year, 2025, that there have been more than 7 million, and it's going to explode over the next 15 years. So, really important. Even if you aren't over 65, you can find your genetic risk anytime. So if you know that there are people in your family, in your immediate family, or on either side of your mother or father's side, that have had Alzheimer's or was never diagnosed with a particular disease, but had a cognitive disorder, a mental disorder, get checked out, please. It's just, you can do it through spit and send it to 23andMe. You can go into a hospital, get blood drawn, and they can find that out. Now that you know, you can begin to take certain health activity to minimize the risk. You can keep getting monitored. And you can then also volunteer for drug trials or trials that need people with um, the APOE risk. You can be of help. You can be aware and then be of help. So that is certainly something you can do. And with that number of people, you can become aware by trying to find out who in your community is going through this and how to engage them, include them. One of the biggest problems for people with cognitive disorders is loneliness and isolation. Involvement in community, having projects and meaning in life has been shown to improve the quality of life for those of us with cognitive disorder, and to slow down the advancements in that disease, all of them, not just Alzheimer's. So be a good neighbor. Where is there an adult daycare community where there are people looking for volunteers? That's a good place to go. Is your religion a congregation or a Alzheimer's association? Well, focus in that. A lot of religious institutions work with their congregants that have diseases. I performed for a Presbyterian church here in Northern Virginia. They had a minister for older people, and there was even a ministry around Alzheimer's. You can go check it out. If not, start one, particularly if you want to honor the memory of someone in your family who may have gone through this. Be aware and help celebrate. Donate some of your time and make people, and I want to come back to this, it's isolation. I once performed a show for at a senior living facility. And afterwards, somebody came up with a woman and her husband who had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And they were beside themselves. And they were saying, people don't talk to us. We'll sit at a table for lunch, and even some of our friends won't sit with us. They're afraid to be around, she said, my husband. It's not catchable, it's not communicable, and community and engagement are just so important for a meaningful life with this terrible disease. And it is possible. So you can do that. Be aware. How can you reach out and find people in your community? You can go to a memory unit, or there's a Sunrise Senior Living near where we live that has a memory and assisted level. Go talk to them. There is our local adult daycare provider. That's another place. Call the Alzheimer's Association and see what the volunteer opportunities are in your community. Call your state and local office of, in Virginia, there is an office of Alzheimer's on the state level. There are now something called dementia friendly programs. Look them up in your community and volunteer during the month or year round. You can make our lives better and in the process, perhaps find more meaning in your own life. And then one last thing you can do. Well, there's two. All right, two. One is you can help Dementia Man travel the country and you can get a copy of the book. And you can help bring us to everybody who needs to see the show. And we just performed in the Opera House in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. A good friend who I met years ago now lives in Shepherdstown and renovated the Opera House and presents theater. But there were so many people, and it was so meaningful to us all. This can be like a dark hole for everybody. And I present a real human being going through this disease, and I can share some of my experiences. I can listen to people. The room listens to each other, and it helps builds community. So help bring Dementia Man to your community. We're still touring. I don't know how long I can do this. And Susan and I make a conscious decision almost quarter by quarter. So I think we'll be good the first half of 2026. So that's another thing. That's one. Two, you can donate. Go online and our taxes, donations to Dementia Man through our fiscal agent are tax deductible. And then finally, we have a list serve. If you want to be in a community that shares stories, asks questions, becomes a place for reliable information, trusted information. We don't, we curate our information. So it's called the Dementia Man List or DM List. And if you send an email, write this down. I'm going to give you this email. And then if you send an email to that, you become the list. Anybody can post to the list. People will share their information, share resources, ask questions, help. And they're from all over the country. It's not very large right now, trying to grow this community. So it's DM List. And I wrote it down, but I'm going to go back to look at it to make sure I get it right. And that would be, so it's a listserv. You have to subscribe to it. And here it is. It would be, okay, you send an email in the to DM List, one word, then the plus sign. And make DM List all caps. I don't think it matters. But DM List, the plus sign, the word subscribe, and then the @ sign, and then groups.io. Dementia, DM List, plus subscribe at groups.io, and do it from the email that you will communicate with. And I'll let you in, and you can be part of the community there too. We would love to hear your experiences or what's on your mind and what's bothering you. So that's a lot to do. It is until the end of November. It's Alzheimer's Awareness Month. It's also Family Caregiver Month. And please honor your family caregivers. You may be one yourself. And be aware and see how you can become part of the Alzheimer's community in your community and be of help to those of us with the disease. Most importantly, I'm telling you, even this guy who's wrote a book is going around performing plays all over the country. Susan and I also can feel isolated. And in fact, we have made the decision to downsize and move into a senior living community probably in early 2027. We put the deposit down. And it's a big deal because we have so much in our house. So anyway, I hope you step up and don't hesitate to be in touch and sign up for a DM list. Thank you all very, very much.